Harvey Goldglantz, and I'm speaking to you today about my new book, Marketing Matters: The Ultimate Reference Guide to Making the Most of Your Marketing Money. And in this series of podcasts, I'm going to be introducing you to some of my current and past clients who have put into practice many of my recommendations that are covered in my book. And sitting next to me today, I'm honored to have one of those clients with me, Mr. Mark Hopper, who is Vice President of Hopper Environmental Services, which is located in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Mark, welcome.
Thank you.
And why don't we start off by my asking you a few questions, speaking about some of the changes that we've implemented over the past year, such as your name change, your color scheme change, and your logos change. And also, why don't you spend some time speaking about your new green character? I'm sure the viewers would love to hear about that.
Okay. It doesn't seem that long ago that we actually changed our name from Hopper Termite Control to Hopper Termite Pest Management. That was 5, 6, 8 years ago. So when you suggested we look at a different name, we're thinking, oh no, here we go again, but it's worked out well. We chose the name Hopper Environmental Services. We played around with some other things, and that's what we decided on. The environmental part, of course, reflects the concern and the movement, that we see today. It also is a wider umbrella for other services besides pest management that we might add or have already added. In addition to that, we changed the colors in our logo. We kept the same logo design, the name Hopper, which we knew we wanted to keep. But we changed the colors from red and black to blue and green, which, is more environmentally friendly colors, a little bit more accepted. So far, it's worked out great. Our customers have barely even blinked at the change. Especially there's been no negative response that we've seen. It's been accepted. We also developed a character, our mascot, to go along with our logo and our marketing, and it's a really cool bright green grasshopper.
Would you say that your customers would notice that vehicle driving down the street now?
Our vehicles are very noticeable. We have a big green grasshopper on the side, as well as some other cool graphics, and very noticeable. Yeah.
So you agree that differentiation is an important part of your company's evolution?
Absolutely. We've always tried to stay a little bit ahead, a little bit different from the other companies around us, and this just even takes that a step further.
How did you unveil and actually introduce your Evolve brand to both your employees and then your customers? How did you gain acceptance?
Well, to start with, we used our administrative staff, management staff, to actually make the selection of our name. They were included in this. Actually,
I remember that well.
The name they chose was not the one I had chosen. I left the room for a few minutes, and they came back and said it was done. So, but they were involved in that, and the colors as well. Then with the rest of our employees, we explained why we were doing what we were doing. Our customers, we sent out invoice stuffers and things just announcing the name change to our current customers. There was a press release in the paper. And just a lot of talking and like that,
I want to just go back to something you said a few minutes ago, and it's really, you are to be commended on it, and it really talks about what style of a leader you are. You said that you walked out of the room for a moment, and your team actually selected the new name of your company.
Yeah.
And that takes a tremendous amount of strength. And I actually speak about that in the book, as well as allowing the team to make the decision and being confident enough in your people to allow them to do that. And you did that. And it appears that that's working out pretty well for all of you.
Well, it has. And to make a change like that and to sell it to your customers, your team, they have to believe in it. And if they believe in it, they can sell it to the customer.
And I gather they believe in it.
Yes, they do. They're very excited.
Can you spend a few minutes? I know we've done a lot of changes in your company over the last year, and one of the changes that we have implemented has been also introducing some green programs.
Right.
Could you take a few moments and comment on the
Sure.
programs?
We have three basic pest control offerings. We have our standard IPM pest control service, which is based on just the basic principles of IPM. And then we use targeted amounts of traditional synthetic materials as part of the program. We also offer, and this is the green service that we're referring to. We call it our Green First. In this service, we even rely more heavily on IPM, on recognizing conducive conditions, making recommendations, and the products that we use are all low-impact products, such as plant and tree oil-based products, borates, etc. If the pest populations swell to a point at any time where the customer is starting to have concerns, then we do have the option to go back in with a traditional synthetic product in a small targeted application to solve the problem, and then we return back to the more low-impact products after that.
I think that more of the viewership should consider actually moving into these green areas, because profit potential is significant if these programs are marketed correctly and doing it exactly the way Mark has laid out that he does it in Hopper. One of the other areas that we worked on during the past year was allowing your company the opportunity to expand its revenue growth by opening up a branch in Walmart's backyard,
Right.
where the population center, the growth center, is really one of the biggest booms in the country in terms of people expansion. Why don't you spend a few moments letting them know about those plans that we launched, how you went about doing it, why you went about doing it, and how you're seeing it impact the future of your company?
Sure. Originally, a couple of years ago, we had bought a small customer base from another company, and we were working that from Mountain Home. We opened an office there in the spring. We realized that the potential in this market is huge. It's growing and growing. Of course, with the economy now, it's kind of flattened out a little bit, but that we're sure that's not going to last too long. But with the population base there and the growth potential, we knew that's where we needed to be. We've used a variety of marketing tools, starting on a very basic personal level with joining chambers of commerces, going to Rotary Club, just getting to know people in town. We have a branch manager now that lives there. We've kind of covered the spectrum of media as far as marketing goes, everything from outdoor advertising to cable television to newspaper to some direct mail and door knockers. So we're trying to get a feel of what's effective in that market. I think we're starting to get a grasp on that, and we can be a little bit more selective this year.
So I think basically what you're saying is that strategic planning that we
Yes.
did in preparation for the green program,
Right.
the branding,
Exactly.
and the expansion into a new area was all integral in making sure that the results were what we expected.
Correct.
And I might add that even though that we are in an economy now that is, to say the least, challenging, I am proud of Hopper in that you've continued modest revenue growth, but continue to have a very close eye on your profitability as well, understanding that it's profit and revenue in combined with a strategic focus on the future that's going to get your company to the goals where it wants to be. And I guess at this point I want to thank Mark for participating in this interview, and I want to urge everybody to go out and get a copy of my book, Marketing Matters, making the most of the ultimate reference guide to making the most of your marketing money, because then you will find out how you can do exactly what Mark Hopper and other clients of mine have been able to do.